What's up guys, Clearance Aisle back with another installment of How to Survive the Top 20. The video series where I let you guys know what's going through my head as I manage to grab another win in Fortnite. Welcome back everybody. Today's video is actually a personal record of mine. I get a 16 kill solo victory royale and I am damn proud of it. You see me building up on this guy. I actually built up quite a ways away trying to sneak up on him a little bit. So you saw me, see that ramp. I started, really far back and I built well above him so that he couldn't shoot up at me. And thinking back on it, when I got to the top, I should have put a little wall in front of my ramp and one to the left side, towards him. And that would have prevented him from shooting out my ramp, which he did. But I was, lucky enough to land two good shots on him and killed him before I dropped down. I push into Tomato Town and pretty looted up here. I've got this grenade launcher with a bunch of grenades and I saw some action inside the pizza shop. So I started putting some grenades in there, just trying to get lucky, and end up getting shot by this guy up on the hill to the southeast. And he gets a couple of really nice shots on me. So I take a minute to heal up. And I'm looking at the storm clock, and while I'm on the short side of the storm, it is still moving, and I'm feeling just in a really bad position here. I do put a couple of grenades out there, and they take out of structures, but I'm not happy with my overall position. So I start to build up, and because that storm is moving relatively slow to me, I'm thinking that I can probably get up to the top of this hill and get to him before the storm finally comes in. And I fumble with some building there, but I go ahead and build up over this existing ramp, and just like last time, I built way higher than him, and this time I put a little wall in front of my ramp to get some protection there. I end up finding him. I get a nice headshot on him there, and storm is still creeping in on me, and it's definitely in the back of my head. So I think I probably need to keep pushing here and keep the pressure up so that I don't end up stuck in the storm. He goes down with a couple of good shotgun shots, and right then I see the clock ticking down at 26, 27 seconds, and I go straight for the chug jug. I don't have a lot of shields or any other med kits or bandages, but I know that I've got enough time to take this chug jug and pick back up these mini shields and run out of the storm and actually only take a little bit of damage. You see I'm at 94 HP there. And, I could have just ran out with the chug jug and taken it now, but I would have ended up leaving the minis behind. So I think that was a good trade-off for 6 HP to be, fully shielded and have full health and be able to take a couple of minis with me to the next gunfight. I'm not sure if you guys saw my last video where I talked a little bit about storm and circle size and player count. So if you look at my minimap now, you'll see that the new circle is really small for how many players are left. I've got 9 players left. And what that means is that, you've probably got people hiding, you've probably got people already in existing bases, and in a place like Tomato Town where there's not a lot of existing cover from structures and vegetation, you're pretty much going to have to build up. So I built a little 1x1. That's what I prefer. It's easy to build, uses little resources. So when I'm at the top, I hear somebody underneath me. I knew he wasn't an aggressive player. When I look down and I see him just looting up the previous body from underneath me, I just go ahead and jump down and get the kill. When I'm fully shielded and I've got 94 HP, it's a pretty easy decision on a non-aggressive player like that just to jump down, get the kill, loot up, and move on. It'll raise your kill count, reduces the players left, and just one less thing to worry about. So the storm is fully closed in finally. I checked this guy coming out of the storm and decided just to put a couple little test shots on him and end up getting a kill. So nice little freebie there. Not sure if someone else is still down there. I pretty much have an idea of where the remaining players are at, but not quite sure. I checked this guy come in with a little walkway off of his base, and he makes a nice little box for my grenades to drop into. I decided to keep the pressure up, and thinking he's probably got to be pretty low after the fall and that last grenade. I thought that grenade was going to hit him, but it looks like he put a roof up just in time. It's about this time that I'm noticing some sniper shots coming to me from the north, And when after I put that first wall up, I noticed that I didn't have quite enough cover to that fort over there. So I actually built a little floor and then put another wall up. So it's giving me pretty good cover from those sniper shots and still allowing me to peek at that guy. The guy from the pizza shop pulls out a minigun, and I know he's got to be weak, so I decided that I'm going to go ahead and push this. I mean, if he's not, he might have eaten some mini shields and whatnot. As you see there, I got some shield damage on him, and plus he had the minigun out, which a minigun is an easy weapon to push. As soon as I see him start building that first ramp, I just start building more and more ramps. I thought I might have built maybe a little 1x1 there, but the moment that I saw him build that ramp, I knew I had to push. If somebody starts building ramps up to you, you cannot hesitate. You've got to start building ramps too, because if you hesitate even a bit, they're going to end up higher than you, and they're going to end up with the position and having that height advantage on you. So I decide that since my fort is still in the new circle, that I'm going to go ahead and get back into it and find out if any of these players have moved. As I mentioned earlier, you've got these guys who build little 1x1s, and I really love the grenade launcher to do just that. You see I launched that grenade right into his little fort. The wall strapped the grenade in, and I got some great damage on him. And look, he just builds another 1x1 and creates a ramp, which is a nice place for a grenade just to drop down into and do some damage. As soon as I kill him, I see a guy right in the edge of the storm there. I decide to build back up a little bit, get some more height. And I get a lot of really great shots on him, but things sort of start to get a little frustrating here. He was definitely a good enough player to know that he should be building, and my grenades are just kind of skirting that front edge of his structures, and I'm able to really keep the pressure up because I know there's only one other person left. So you see me kind of moving in and out, and I'm thinking that I've got plenty of time just to put pressure on him. And I've got plenty of ammunition, 500 plus AR rounds, but my grenades are limited. And like I said, they're barely getting to him there, so I'm not quite able to get them down into his fort. You see there, I know where the last guy is for sure now. He's right underneath me, so I feel comfortable constantly lobbing grenades at this guy basically. And because the guy's just chilling at the bottom of my fort, I know that he's not a very advanced player, so I'm not really even worried about him rushing me at this point. I know that the guy out here that I'm shooting at now is a more advanced player, so I need to prioritize him over the guy at the base of the fort. Now, if I hear the guy start to build underneath me or start to rush me, then obviously I'm going to switch priorities. But right now, I need to focus on this guy. He's the weakest. He's the best player. I just need to get him down and focus on the guy underneath me. And he's really giving me trouble. You see here, he's a good builder. He's sort of staying to the edges and the corners of his structures, but he makes a mistake there, runs out in the wide open, and I'm able to get that kill. Now this last guy, I really do not like being in this position. I don't like being this much higher than my opponent, especially if it's the last player. So you see me, faux edit that floor piece to see if I can get some visuals on him, and I can't. So I'm going to drop down a little bit in just a second here. And I thought for some reason that maybe he had built up inside of my structure. I've experienced that with players before where they'll maybe take out a wall at the very bottom of your base and kind of snake their way up on the inside. I mean, it's not a great strategy. It's not the worst strategy. Unfortunately, though, I do fall off here and take some pretty serious damage, and I end up right in front of the guy. I was on build mode. I think I was trying to drop down and put a floor and maybe panicked a little bit. But either way, I was able to get out of build mode, pull out the shotgun, and land a couple of nice shotgun blasts on this remaining player and earn that new personal record, 16 kills in a solo victory royale. I would have been really salty if I would have lost there. I think that puts me up to 161 solo wins now, right around maybe a 10 to 11% win rate. If you want to check out my stats, just go to FortniteTracker.com. Click on the little Xbox logo and look up clearance aisle _. I'll link it in the description below. And follow me on Twitter too. Sometimes I post clips that you guys don't see in these videos. That's also at clearance aisle _, and I'll link that down in the description. I appreciate the view, and I'll see y'all next time.